Aloha mai kākou. Welcome to Hawaiian Music Archives, where oral tradition is appreciated, and a kuleana to our kupuna and our keiki. Here we acknowledge ike kupuna, the insights, the mana'o, the ʻŌlelo, the stories of our kupuna. And I'm your host, David, Kekoamanawaleʻa Woodward. And in ʻŌlelo Studios today, we have Auntie Nina, Kealiʻiwahamana, as well as Uncle Alan Akaka. I want to make sure that everybody knows you, Auntie, as Auntie Nina, right? And I know you shared with me your full name, right? And most people didn't know. I didn't know, but I want to make sure that everybody knows. Your name is actually Catherine Kealiʻiwahamana Rodrigues Raposo.
Correct.
Is that correct? Yeah. And so one of the first things that I like to open up with and talk about is like kind of behind the scenes things of like how you got the name Nina.
It was a name given to me, I guess, in school, at Maryknoll School. It was a nickname, I think because I was short.
Oh.
Short. So they just referred to me as Nina, Nina, Nina. So I stuck with it from then on.
All right on. I know like during these generations, like nicknames were such a big thing. Like when I hear, stories of you folks like bringing up, stories of your friends and family, you guys always bring up these nicknames that I'm like, man, you don't hear these kinds of things anymore. Nobody talks, have terms of endearment like this for each other. So that's one of the reasons why I ask. And I also want to know, like, if you don't mind me asking, names are a big thing for me. So I was wondering, what did Kealiʻiwahamana mean?
Mama told me that the meaning that the family has for it is the chief who speaks with authority. Oh. And I am named after my great-great-great-grandmother, who was also married to Charles Stevens, and the parents of James Ka'umaumakea and also Emma Ka'o Jarrett. She had 2 children, and it is from there that comes my mother, my grandmother's, and for whom I am named after, Kealiʻiwahamana.
Oh wow, that's so soothing. Like yes. Like I always, when I listen to all of your albums, and I'm sure everybody can attest to this too. Like your voice is always at the front, and it just never fails to amaze me,
Yeah, the voice of the islands.
Right, right. And, a very musical family, same as you, yeah, Uncle Alan. And, from the musical matriarch, Auntie Vickie, right? Auntie Vickie Rodrigues. Yes. And she was the lead performer. Auntie Nina was the lead performer of Hawaii Calls in the late 50s, 58 to 74, around there. When did you start in Hawaii Calls, would you say?
Let's see, Mama was there from right after it started when ʻŌlelo Perry's group took over. Mm-hmm. So that was 1935, I believe, after Harry Owens. Mm-hmm. And then my sister Lenny joined in 1951, and I joined in 1958. Was asked to join in 1958, wow. Along with your aunt.
With my
grand
aunt, Pita, yeah.
Auntie Punini McQuain, lovely sweetheart of a person. And then Brother Boise came in after he returned from his army stint in Germany. So he joined in the 60s, and we rode it through to the end.
Oh my gosh, that's so amazing. She was a featured performer, not just on Hawaii Calls, but I mean, all across the top venues from what I hear, of the time, right?
Did you know it too?
Yes, mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. Kevalu Inn, South Seas, all of those places she performed with ʻŌlelo Perry and the Singing Surf Riders. Wow. She was the vocalist. I've seen pictures. They're wonderful. Happy days.
To see them.
During the war. This was, of course, during the war.
Oh, gosh.
Wow. Yes. Well, also joining us, today is also Uncle Alan Akaka. His full name is actually Uncle Alan Lima'ikaika Akaka, and he just shared with me the other day what it meant. But I want you to go ahead and share with everybody and about your middle name and what that means for us,
Well,
for you.
it was a name given to me by my grandfather, Tutupa, we would call him, Dad's father, who lived in Paoa. And it was something I was doing. This is a story from my mother. Something I was doing with my hands, or maybe grabbing Tutupa's hand, and he says, "Oh, that's limai kaika," which means hand and strength. But I take it as more than that, because when it comes to instruments, it's so easy for me to learn an instrument. From when I was in beginning band, or in third grade when I taught myself to play the ukulele, and or whatever. I mean, that's why I became a band director too, because instruments were easy for me to learn. But then that limai kaika, to me, was more of something that would happen, or come to pass for me.
Yeah.
Because of Tutupa.
Oh, wow. That's the commonality I see between both of your folks' names. Like, Auntie's voice is in the front, and so is your steel, man. Like, I have never heard anybody in this generation, putting aside, all the other greats as well.
All the legends.
All the legends before us, right? But, Uncle Alan, you have a name out there, like everybody knows now in this day and age. Like, if you want a steel player, if you want to hear, a Hawaiian sound, you listen to your steel, right, of today. As well as, Auntie's voice, right? Like, just the golden voice.
I know, I was just listening to Kalamaʻula the other day.
Oh, gosh. I can listen to that, like, on repeat. Like,
Yeah, I was chatting with somebody about, Hawaiian homesteads and how, Prince Kuhio was the one that got it passed in Congress and so on. And then I said, "Oh, do you know what the first homestead was?" And I said, "Kalamaʻula," and then the song came to my mind. And I had to play it,
Yeah.
I had to take out the recording and play it. And of course it was with her.
Right.
Of course.
And
that is the most iconic version of Kalamaʻula.
I agree.
Bar none.
And these are how all these things get passed down, it's through mele, through chant and through songs and stories, right? And this is what it's about. So, if you folks don't know, Uncle Alan, other than, their family deeply rooted in Hawaiian music, you have a lot of background, influences, like you were mentioning at Kamehameha schools, right? You're a band director as well. The church choir as well? Is that
Youth choir.
Youth choir?
Then I
at UH too?
I started.
No?
No. During my UH days, what happened is, I was in the marching band because I got a scholarship.
Okay.
So so I went to school on the scholarship, and at the same time, I joined the Aloha Airlines promo team, which she is very well aware of, since she was a secretary to the president.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's the first career. Singing was secondary.
Oh my gosh.
Right. And so anyway, so I got to travel all around with all these different people. I enjoyed traveling with Billy Hewland.
Oh yes.
Uncle Mahi too. I could tell you stories about that.
Please don't.
Yeah. I know. He's like flying over to Chicago with him. We didn't sleep at all.
Oh my God.
It was a long flight. Before we knew it, we were asked to buckle our seatbelts. We're talking the whole time.
Wow.
Because he had a lot of stories. Anyway, so doing that, then I taught at various schools, Kahuku, UH Lab,
Right,
Kamehameha.
right.
Was a band director, started a middle school choir there, and so on.
Right.
So as far as music, I was the president of the Hawaiian Steel Guitar Association for 7 years, and I'm still involved with them. So to lend support.
Well, I think one of the most impressive things, though, and things that I truly support, in addition to that, is how you provide, support for growing artists as well. Creating Kekula Mele back in 2009,
Yes.
around there-ish, right? And up to Hai Mele too. That's a nonprofit. Is that correct?
That is a nonprofit.
And I just think like that's such an amazing thing to kind of not just perpetuate, but to give back as well. You know, to kind of keep the movement going. And when we'll get to this topic too, you know, there's so many challenges, you know, that can present themselves as a budding musician, right? And you know, having support is one of the biggest parts, and that's how I view, you know, your programs as well. You know, being a little biased because my son is your hamana, but you know, I notice it firsthand as a parent as well. So it's kind of neat.
Well, you know, when I was Jerry Bird's student back in the 70s, I met a lot of musicians, especially from Hawaii Coast, through Jerry. And because of that, I got to play with them and get to know them through performing alongside many of them. And, you know, I learned a lot from them and so on. So nowadays, with the young ones, the next generation, if you will, like your son, Isaac, you know, I want to give them the same experience to meet the artists of today. You know, Greg Sardina, Bobby Ngano, Jeff Ahoy, Casey, Paul Kim, whoever, whoever, you know, comes to the festivals, you know, and get to meet them and you know, start a bond. Yeah, and I see that, you know, where they start calling those artists uncle.
I love it. Good on you.
You know, yeah.
Well, I'm in that generation right now. Everybody's calling me uncle. So.
No, and then you know, the children feel very comfortable with them. And then the artists start giving to them things too, including mana'o, or in some cases instruments. Like, hey, here's a steel guitar, have it. This is yours. Things like that. All that support. You know, we're getting that, and I'm so happy to see that. You know, years ago, you know, I started planting seeds, and I continue to plant seeds with the hope that, you know, the blossoms mohala, right? And I can see some of it happening, and it'll keep on going. Hopefully, you know, even after I'm gone. I mean, Jerry has been gone 20 years, something years.
Amazing.
You know? I mean, Jerry, not only Jerry, you know, I met so many, you know, Billy Hewlin. He's another one that I spent a little time with. And, you know, when I used to go to the Blue Dolphin Room, where Jerry played on some nights and Billy played on some nights, and Billy would say, hey, go play my steel guitar. So I'd be playing with the trio. Meanwhile, you know what Billy is doing now. Those guys back in those days. But he gave me that opportunity to play on his steel guitar, a different tuning. Same when I used to go to the Aloha Grill, Auntie Genoa would call me up, and then her steel guitarist at the time was Herbert Hana Waihine. So he would go off the stage to sit with his wife, and I would be there in front of his triple neck steel guitar. And I got to learn those tunings, you know, right on the spot, you know, backing up Auntie Genoa.
Wow.
And what did that lead to? Well, I became Auntie's steel guitarist from the 80s on, till she retired.
Yes, you did.
You know, so these opportunities came up to me. And so those are the kind of opportunities that I hope to offer to our young ones.
Obviously, you guys going out and connecting with these people, you know, help to grow at you as a musician. But if we were to kind of go back in time as well, you know, you both coming from, you know, musical households, you know, everybody has their own story of how, you know, how music was fostered in their home, right? You know, before a lot of all these other resources / distractions of a phone or a computer nowadays, right?
Oh, yes.
So, you know, I still grew up in a time where I was able to go to people and learn, you know, straight from people, or just watch and listen. That's what was always told to me, you know, just listen and watch, you know. But how was it for you folks? Like, what was your household like, you know, being in a...
The radio and the phonograph.
The radio and the phonograph.
And 78 records.
Yeah.
My family, aunts and uncles collected 78s from all the popular bands, you know, the Benny Goodman and all of those. That music is what I grew up with in the household. And then, of course, with Mama, it was the Hawaiian music. So we all had the best of both worlds by having music all the time. I mean, it was a second thought to get Mama and Daddy a new Magnavox player, you know, the big console, because music was part of our lives. It had to, that radio was on from the time somebody took the pia out of their eyes and sat down. The radio was on, or records, playing records. That was our life, music.
Yeah.
From that means the phonograph and the radio.
Was there any like formal like training on any of the music, like for you folks, or informal, however, you know?
Yeah, that's how it came about.
But was there any formal training, like somebody teach you guys how to sing, or?
Yes, I did have formal training from the very best, Madeline K. Lamb.
Oh my gosh.
Auntie Maddie was my piano teacher for many years, and we would have wonderful days when there was no piano playing, but she would take me through the King's Collection, and I would have to sing for her.
Wow.
And that's how I learned so many of those songs. Auntie Maddie was the finest teacher of anything, of life, of working. She was meticulous in every sense of the word.
Her music just lives on today.
Music was,
Oh, yes.
she was a champion.
Like, oh.
Yes, Auntie Maddie. Prior to that, I had taken a few years from Mommy Jones, but that was, you know, that was more on the jazz side. She was a jazz singer and a great pianist, and took from her for a little while, and then went to Auntie Maddie after that.
Oh wow! So you played piano a little?
Very poorly.
Well, the finest instrument is the voice.
It was a means to learning. It was a means to learning to read and write music.
Oh wow!
But not to be a mahi beamer or
That's another story.
Yeah, Uncle Mike.
The best. The
Wow.
best.
Oh yeah.
Oh, thank you. That's awesome. What about you, Uncle?
Well, Dad was a choir director
Right.
at Quahel Church. I mean, besides being an educator in the Department of Education and so on, and for some reason, I felt like learning how to play music too. So at the third grade, or at that age, when Dad wasn't home, I would go under his bed and pull out his ukulele and his songbook. Everything was typewritten in those days, yeah. And I taught myself to play chords and so on, and looking at the songs, you know, the Island Medley, and I started playing along because I remember listening to, you know, the choir sing some of these songs, or at least a combo. Whenever there was a visiting group from the mainland, the choir would put a luau on for them, and that included a little show with all choir members dancing or singing or playing, and so on. So, you know, I absorbed all of that. What I didn't realize is going to luau's and parties, I was absorbing music that was happening on the stage. I heard it, I didn't pay attention to it. You know, I was more focused on, you know, the food. You know, like, I'm hungry, I want to eat now, you know. But yet, you know, I was hearing this music. And when I started getting into music, I mean, other than playing ukulele, right when the Renaissance was beginning in the 70s, early 70s, or late 60s, early 70s, my brother's classmates would come over, Aaron, Mahi, Dennis Kamakahi. They would come up to the house and jam. I grabbed the barrel from my clarinet case, and I started sliding it on the strings and picking. And then my dad told me, he says, "You're playing the steel guitar." I said, "Really?" And it just came so naturally, you know, because it sounded so familiar to me. And so he encouraged me to continue. And so the first song I taught myself to play, and it's because by then I could read. I was in beginning band or going to intermediate band by then. I chose White Ginger Blossoms. That's the very first song I learned on the steel guitar.
Wow.
I taught myself. I figured it out on my dad's guitar with my clarinet barrel.
Interesting.
Most people don't know that you played clarinet.
Yeah, I did a recital. Yeah, right. Yeah. I have my degree in music.
One of these days, we got to get you on stage with a clarinet.
Forget that. No, the reed is probably a split. Yeah, no. Yeah, it's in my garage. But maybe I'll send it to the Smithsonian or to
the Hawaiian Music Archives. Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the most awesome things about the Hawaiian Music Archives, though. Like they provide that means, like, to have instruments like such as these on display, or even music like this, right? So people can hear them, and whether it be, even on Edison rolls like this, like
these.
My goodness,
right?
I was looking at that.
Like,
right.
Did you folks have these around your house?
Didn't you see one on my desk?
I did. Actually, just two, right?
No, I have just one.
Oh, just one. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Did you grow up with these in your house as well?
No.
Yeah, this is the early 20th century.
Right. But what's amazing though is at the Hawaiian Music Archives, they have all of this. They even have the things to play this.
I'm so glad they have that.
And like, if you folks ever have a chance going there and listening to some of these reels, like these rolls on here, some of the things that are played, like even the steel, when you hear it, you're like, oh my gosh, like they're just ripping it on.
Oh yeah.
Right. The playing is very, very different than what it progressed
the style
to later,
the tuning.
Right?
Yes.
But even the singing, like some of the progressions that they were going through, I'm like, where did you guys even come up with that? The arrangements
and the big booming voices.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like they're singing as if there's no microphone.
Yeah. Like for me as an artist, kind of still growing in it as well. I like to listen to those for inspiration, and just as a way of guidance. From the kupuna, from Ike kupuna, in other words, right? And so, I know there's a lot of people that do the same thing as well as you folks, right? Those were seems like those were your influences, but were there any other influences within your folks' lives that, kind of led you to the direction that you did with music?
Real inspiration in my life was accompanying my mother to Hawaii calls when we were kids, all four of us. Sitting in the front row, that's our mommy. And her beautiful voice.
Oh, she had a wonderful voice. I love this album. I love
your voice. Yes, thank you.
I wish I could go back in time and sit with you, and watch. Some of the greatest musicians at the time.
Yes. Well, at that time, Hawaii Calls had the Bright family.
Yeah.
Andy, Simeon. And
Andy.
Right. Andy would join every once in a while. But Hawaii Calls has featured many families. The Brights were I think the first, because that goes back. And then Barney and Norman Isaacs. Norman played bass also and guitar on Hawaii Calls for a while. And then the Rodrigues family.
Yes.
Came in later.
Right. And then back in the day too, Auntie Clara. Hilo Hattie. She was part of it too.
Yes, she was.
At one time.
And Haleloke?
Haleloke before she moved up to New York.
With Arthur Godfrey?
Yeah. Such a beautiful voice. Almost contralto.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of great players. Of course, on the steel guitar, being that was the lead instrument of the band and still is today. You had David Kealiʻi, who was a wizard on the steel guitar. Just an amazing player, never missed a beat. He could be very busy behind the singer, but never stepped on toes.
Never.
He was just amazing.
Sure. Wow.
And I don't think he could read music either. A lot of them couldn't, but they had great ears.
Gosh.
Yes.
Amazing.
Great ears.
Beautiful touch.
The touch meaning it's like communication from the artist to the listener. If you can communicate with them and connect, you have that touch.
Yes.
Oh, that's wise. I'm like taking that in right now.
It's communication.
It is.
It is.
It's
Music is
communication.
communication. It is language.
So is the hula.
Yeah.
My
And so is the
sister
hula.
and I think my sister Lenny was a perfect
Oh
example.
my
Oh,
gosh.
She would communicate with you directly. Her eyes were on your eyes.
Wow.
When she danced, she communicated
oh gosh.
with,
Oh.
by every means. Don't you agree?
Oh, I could tell you a story about her at the ʻŌlelo. Oh my gosh. So she was there, and it was
When you were
Benny
playing there.
Kalama and Sonny Kamahele
Is that when you were playing there? At
Oh,
that
yeah.
time? Okay.
at the House Without a Key.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so I called her up. And so she did a song, and she said, slow,
Yes.
slow. So we did it slow. And she's dancing. She turns around. She says, slower.
Mm-hmm.
And so we slow down more. She turns around again, slower. Meanwhile, her fingers are not shaking.
Mm-mm.
They're graceful as ever. And young dancers, I don't know if any young dancers that can do that
Mm.
today.
What song was this?
And that,
It was a Hapaholi song, I
Uh-huh.
remember. It was a Hapaholi song. And maybe Benny was singing. I know she loved Benny Kalama.
oh yes,
Well, everybody did.
yes.
Like her.
Oh, his arrangements are
Oh,
unreal.
yeah. You know, he was a
Unbelievable.
sweetheart.
Gosh.
But
He was
but he was
so
He
naughty.
was a prodigy too, yeah.
He was so naughty.
I feel like all of them were. I felt like all of them.
No, he was,
Like-
but he was quite an artist, singer, and musician, as well as an arranger.
Oh
Mm,
yes,
mm.
And,
brilliant.
and he didn't
Very
go to
brilliant.
college.
Mhm.
He learned it from high school, McKinley,
Wow.
Black and Gold.
Shout out to McKinney.
And but he was just so talented.
Mhm.
It was amazing the arrangements he came up with
Wow.
for Hawaii Calls, and how he could get the chorus singing. You know, you're aware of those albums and
I
the
listened to
great
all of them.
choruses
Yeah.
and so on,
Mhm.
the arrangements.
Yeah.
He was a genius.
He
Right?
was,
He was a genius.
and his penmanship.
Oh, really?
Oh God, you know, I mean, I can read everything he writes.
Huh.
It was just so neat.
Clear,
Everything.
concise, beautiful.
Wow.
He was amazing. Or like, we're driving to Waikiki. So I'm driving, and I said, "Oh, you know, I'm writing this band arrangement." When I was at Kahuku Band, and then he says, "Oh, why don't you have the trombones play this part?" And he started singing it, and I went, "Oh my God!" I added it. I put it
Oh,
in there.
my.
It became part of the arrangement.
Yeah.
And he just like with his
Yeah,
voice.
Yeah. Or
That's-
we're
Oh.
listening to, we're listening to KCC and driving.
Mm.
And then all of a sudden he starts singing the obligato part.
Mhm.
He was a master of the obligato.
Mhm.
You know, that background single line.
Mm.
Oh my God.
This was
I've tried many times myself, but you know, he just had the knack
Yeah.
for it. He knew how to weave around melodies
gosh.
by ear.
The group with him, the Royal Hawaiian Serenaders, George Kainapau and Alvin Isaacs.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, no,
Not
Alvin Isaacs.
Alvin Isaacs, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean,
And Tommy Castro.
right. Oh my gosh. Unbelievable. Like it sounds like such a large amount of people, but there's only what?
Yeah, 4.
4 of them. I was like, oh my gosh. And like the range. you
Yeah, they
know?
were all great. All of them
Yes.
great. And then of course the Hawaiian Village Serenaders.
Mm.
Harmony. Their
Right.
harmony, was so clean.
Clean. And the voices. Oh, Jimmy Kapuiki, for example.
Yes.
He could sing falsetto. They could all harmonize, of
Mm,
course. Dave Kupele, on his songs
Wow.
that he wrote. Jules, too, would sing.
Yes, Jules could sing.
Sonny came in later, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the percussion was Pappy Bowman. And there's Benny Kalama with his little Martin ʻUkulele.
Mm-hmm.
He led with a iron fist.
Oh,
He did. He may have been playing his ukulele, but he was watching everybody else play their instruments because
oh,
he could do it all.
gosh.
Oh yeah, and if you made a mistake,
He would. Yeah.
yeah, you dare not make a mistake
Wow.
in front of Benny.
Seriously.
No, I believe you. I believe you.
Oh
Wow.
yeah,
Oh, when you hear all the recordings, I mean, you only you don't hear anything. You don't hear any flaws.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they didn't have the kind of technology like today where, you know, within mixing you can, you know, change things to make it not sound like there's a mistake in a voice or an instrument, right?
Andy Kalama would call that BS. That's what, you know, yeah, he would call that BS. But, you know, because back in the day, they were so well rehearsed. You know, you could do it on one take.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I hear like, well, you know, I played with a few, you know, prodigies of Uncle K, and like they were talking about how they would practice literally like 364 days out of the year. They would take one day.
Yeah, Uncle K.
They would take one day off.
Uncle K, yeah, he was another one.
Like, you know, they just, like you said, like one take. You know, like some songs were just one take and that was it.
Yeah, Uncle K said that he would do an album after it.
Oh, wow.
It would take about a year of just singing on the stage and getting everything right, and then they would do the album.
Yeah, I heard a story about I think it was Puahihi, where was it right after a gig at Kaimana, and then they went into the studio like right after because their voices were all open at that point, and they did Puahihi one take,
and that is such a wonderful recording,
and in one room. It's like, what?
That is a classic recording of that song.
And that room was like super small, you know, that recording room was really small. And that's an iconic one that they're known for.
Yeah.
You know, that arrangement of Puahihi.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Puahihi.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah. Gosh, Uncle K.
So selfishly, I want to ask, because I didn't get to learn very much about my Auntie Tita as I knew her. You know, she was older at that age. She was still very feisty.
Very.
You know?
Yes.
When I remember her as a young child. But, you know, from everyone that I know that's played, you know, with her, you know, they said, you know, they just admired the kind of voice. Actually, it was very unique, you know, the timbre of her voice. But what would you know, like, how was it, you know, playing or singing with her, you know, like?
Comfortable.
Yeah?
Yes. There was never any stress. No stress, you know, the only stress on Hawaii calls was Benny Kalama. But
as you guys said.
And that was for a reason. And he made us all better for it. But she was the softest person that I know of. She really didn't speak unless she was spoken to. I mean, we all just, you know, were in awe of everybody who was there anyway. But she was very quiet, very soft, very shy, in that sense of the word. And then Aotearoa Perry would have us over at the Willows for a luau or something, not to entertain. He would entertain us, have us eat, and then of course we'd all end up singing and dancing anyway, and she would love that. Big smile, because she was in an element, surrounded with her peers, not my peers, her peers, and be happy about it. She was a very happy person. Beautiful.
Oh, yeah. My grandmother would mention things about her. That's why, but. I mean, hearing it from other people firsthand that spent a lot of time with her, you know, makes me feel a little bit closer to Ohana. That, you know, I wish I had.
Actually, your Auntie Helene reminds
kind of
me
similar.
of her.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Very similar. Yes.
Quirky.
Helene.
All I remember about her is, you know, she always had this smile.
Yes. That was it.
Her demeanor of softness. You know, that was her. We went to Japan together, you know, and yeah, she was always sweet. Always.
Always.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So it sounds like there were, from conversation with you folks both, it sounds like there were different iterations of Hawaii calls, right? There were different kind of arrangements of people. Is that correct?
Yeah, right, in time.
I guess
time
it
does
evolved.
that.
Yeah.
time
sure.
does that, you know.
I mean, it's a long-running show too, right?
It evolves with the music,
Yeah.
you know, from the standards of old and the clip, the staccato that the old Hawaiians had, that old clip, that became the smooth Alfred Apaka. That music of that era was smooth and soothing, and of course you still had the Tomi Tomis.
Right.
But
Samalama.
yeah, there you go.
Samalama.
So there was so many different facets of it, but you could capture it all. And I think Webb Edwards did a marvelous job of selecting tunes that were good to the ear, that were memorable, that you ended up humming, not like today. I mean, you can listen to music today that you'll never, it doesn't hit that same note for you, whereas you want to sing it right away. Whereas if you listen to Hawaii Calls, every song you wanted to hum along or learn it or have a part in it. That's my personal view.
I grew up on that music.
Hawaii Calls.
I had the albums.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. And you know, you can find that music on YouTube today.
You can.
Yeah, you know, and I think of the musicians, you know, you talked about different iterations. Oh yeah, from Harry Owens
Right.
to the Singing Surf Riders, and then to more of the Hawaii Calls chorus and musicians. And then all the great singers along the way. Danny Kinilau was there. Simeon Bright, Andy Bright too at some point. Haleloke, you know, I mean, these are some that soloed. Or like Simeon Bright would do, you know, Hawaiian Cowboy, for example. Or there would be Sam Kapu. And he would
Wonderful
take these
bass.
low bass solos.
Vili Vili Vai.
Yeah, right.
Vai.
Vili Vai. And so on. And then there's Sam Malama, who would take the Tomi Tomis or Palolo.
Oh, yes.
You know,
Just
that
makes
type
him
of
move.
song.
Yeah.
You know, and he was really good with that. Yeah, I know cousin Ivalani Kalevai
yes.
said, oh yeah, I guess she lived in Halawa or Ia at the time, and says, oh yeah, Sam Lama would pick me up. He lived on the west side. He would come pick me up in his old truck to drive to the Hawaii Calls practice or whatever. And she remembers that there was a puka on the floor. She could see the road, and he's driving, you know.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, these are great stories I picked up along the way, you know. I mean, Ivalani Kalevai too was a beautiful
Fabulous singer. Oh my goodness. She
yeah.
was so sweet.
Yeah.
She had the biggest heart in the world, I think. She was
Beautiful.
just
Such a smooth voice.
yes.
Yeah,
And she had quite a repertoire too.
Yeah, I can remember her singing Kamalani o Keokaha.
I loved when she did that. And U'ilani,
Yeah.
you know, just she had
Cousin
that
Eva.
just enough of a ha'i. Just enough, not overwhelming, but she could just bring that right forward. It was so easy, so simple, like no part.
Of course, her sister-in-law, Haunani Kahalevai, you know.
Right.
And then Alfred Apaka. Pua Almeida.
Well, so many.
Yeah.
Right, that's
We could go
another one.
on for days and
Yeah,
mentioning
I know,
everybody.
Francis Kamahela came in later, way
Yeah.
later, I guess.
Kalani Kinimaka.
Yeah.
You know, all
Oh,
of
my.
the young
Right.
talent that Webb, I was really happy about that. He was bringing the young talent forward and featuring them on Hawaii Calls. I thought that was simply marvelous of him to do.
Yeah, I guess
Ed
Joe.
Kenny.
Yeah, right. Well, Ed Kenny too. Right. Melvin, I guess she was on the TV.
No,
show.
she was on both. She was on the broadcast. Whenever we'd go to the Hilton Hawaiian Village for the program, Webb would feature Alfred Apaka and then also Melvin because she was playing in the Garden Bar with Bernie Hellman. So he did that, and then we'd go to another hotel to the Ilikai, and he'd feature Kalani Kinimaka or somebody like that.
Kalani.
It's good.
What a beautiful voice.
Yeah, beautiful person too.
Kalani. I mean, the list goes on and on with all these singers and so on.
Yeah.
There were so many.
I know. I feel like exactly what you said. I feel like we could go on, and I wish we had more time to go over more stories. Like,
wait, Uncle Sonny Nick.
Mm-hmm.
Uncle Sonny Nicholas.
Uncle Sonny Nicholas.
What he could scoop into.
He had a wonderful voice. Yeah, he did.
Oh yeah, and his falsetto too. Oh.
Do you think we'd be able to play some songs, like kind of reminiscent?
Well, I can play something on this 1920s steel guitar.
That's yours, isn't it?
It's mine. Yeah.
Can you mind sharing a little bit of history on that, and then we can play
this steel guitar. Yeah, it's a national. It's from the late 1920s, and it was given to me by a friend.
Oh.
What she told me was, she says, "Oh, this was my uncle's. It's been in the closet, but nobody in my family plays a steel guitar. You want it?"
Oh my goodness! How lucky you are.
My collection of guitars are from people like that. Oh, you know what? I don't play anymore. Yeah. You want it?
Wow.
So you saw some of my guitars.
Yeah, yes.
You haven't seen most of them.
No.
Yeah. They were all given to me. Yeah. People who, just wanted to. And people still give me guitars. And so some of those guitars I share with the kids.
Yeah.
I pass them on. I still have more that I want to pass on, but when it's time. Always when it's time.
Right.
So,
I'm going to go grab the guitar too.
Oh, yeah.
And, Hawaiian Music Archives is so gracious to let us let me use one of their recent, instruments that they were able to acquire. And I believe it's an 1891 Martin guitar. And I'm not sure what the model is. Excuse me if I don't remember. I'm going to get scoldings after this recording. But
maybe 100 years from now.
But like to play instruments from, the 1800s, is unbelievable in a playing condition. I was very fortunate to have that opportunity with coming from Sean Yakavon. So he owns Ukulele Friend and is a big contributor to this Hawaiian Music Archives project that we have going on. And a lot of his instruments were around the time of the ʻŌlelo.
Yeah.
Right. Which is unbelievable, right? And the sound that travels from these is still amazing. Of course, the tuning is the hardest part to keep, just because of the pegs. These are ivory, I believe, right? And it's pressure. It's not.
It's
like So you have to. I learned this from Sean. Being a curator of all these vintage instruments. And you really got to hold it down and to turn it and to make sure.
And press it in.
Yeah.
It's like the old violins, yeah.
Old violins. I wouldn't know. Are we tuned?
I don't know. What should we do? I don't know. Try key of G. I don't know. Woo. This is a tuning from that time period too. It's a tuning you don't get to hear as often anymore.
The E7, you said, yeah.
It's an E7 tuning, yeah.
And just the style of playing is very different on
right.
It's instrument
very,
like this.
Very different from how I normally play, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, try this in G again. Something that someone in Ohana wrote. Yeah.
Thank you. I heard that on the radio as we drove this morning.
Oh,
yeah. Sonny Chillingworth. Mama taught that to him when Boyce used to bring Sonny over to the house, and Mama took an interest in him. Wow. And she taught him Makiailana. This is back in the 50s.
In the 50s.
In the 50s. And then he recorded it. And
with you in the background.
Yeah.
And Cousin Eva in the background.
Yeah.
See, that's a classic recording of this song. Yeah. That one, I mean, there's a lot of recordings of the song. That one.
That's the classic.
That one is,
Yeah, the Sonny Chillingworth.
That's the one I prefer to listen to.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
The way he does it.
The best.
Yeah. But then the background singing too, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, this song.
That was recorded up at Dillingham Hall, Punahou School.
Oh, wow.
Where did they record Uncle Mahi's album? Wasn't it up there or in the chapel at Punahou?
Punahou was in Dillingham Hall. I've heard stories, Mahi tells, of Auntie Harriet, who was part of the trio with Sunbeam and Mahi.
Yeah.
Could not even be on stage. Her voice was so powerful. She was standing in the audience on one of the aisles singing while they were on stage singing Mahi and Sunbeam, because her voice was so beautiful and so powerful.
Is that Magoon?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Harriet Magoon. Mahaiula.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah. That was her home.
Wonderful stories.
Mahaiula.
The recording stories are fun because most of them were done at 2:00 in the morning. Most of the Hawaii Calls things were done. Haunani's, all of her albums, after work, off to the recording studio.
Yeah, when their voices were open and so on.
We did in churches, the halls, PK and the old downstairs convention room. We recorded all over the place.
Wow.
I remember I heard they had to stop recording when there was an ambulance passing by.
Yes.
Because you could hear it.
That was when the recordings were at the Union on the Union shop.
By Alamoana.
Yes. It was across from what the Ilikai is. That's where the Discovery Bay is.
Yeah.
I remember listening to it, and I always listened. At that time, 1420 changed to 9:40 a.m.
Oh, yes.
And so they had a streaming, and so I was listening to 9:40 a.m. and all the old stuff. But I would record it, even though probably shouldn't. Sorry, that's a public thing now. Everybody knows what I did. But I would record, Harry B's show, because that was my education.
Good
I was getting educated on all the stuff that.
That's why you know so many songs today.
Yeah,
that's
the reason why you learned well.
Yeah,
you learned well.
That's how I learned.
Right, learning the melody line is one thing, right? But knowing like different arrangements of things is another conversation.
And that is one thing that my mother always said. honor the composer.
Honor the composer.
Honor the composer.
You may come up with different arrangements, but always revert back to the original. Chord structure, especially, not the passing sevenths. Be very careful if you're honoring. But then take it, make it your own. That's fine also. But honor the composer.
Honor the
Do it
composer.
once, the way it was written and intended. And that was, Auntie Maddie was very, very strict
another one,
about
yeah.
her music being played as she wrote it.
Honor the composer.
Even within the Beamer compositions as well.
Definitely,
Beamers.
definitely.
Yeah.
The Beamer songs, they will live forever.
Oh gosh.
Treasure trove.
Timeless, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great music.
And the young singers of today, like yourself, continue, learn, but
you.
go back, listen.
I
Go
frequently
back.
do.
But we have so many wonderful young singers and musicians today, and the language lives again.
That's exciting.
So that's important.
Yes.
Mind if we do one more song?
Sure.
Well, let's.
Do you have a request?
To honor monarchy, let's do. Let's honor the Queen. Let's do Makalapua.
Oh, okay. What key? C. D.
Yeah, let's do a D.
D.
ʻŌlelo tea.